that the Carmichael Club has come up with. It's an amazing project, the little bit that I've heard about it, and I'm very anxious to hear more. So, Dick Bauer, I know him from, gosh, we were in class together for pets, and we've been at a lot of things together. So, he is a retired doctor. He was at Kaiser, knows Fred. I said, oh, were you in ER also? But we have a lot of doctors in Rotary all of a sudden. And we were just talking about our challenges and our highlights and everything of being president and how much we like it. So here we go, Dick, you can go ahead and introduce Richard.
Thank you, Ann. We have the first slide. There you go. So, is this on?
Yeah, it's on.
Okay. So, our club has a water project to provide clean water to 10,000 people in Uganda. Let's see.
Just let me know. Will we go to the next one?
Okay, I'm sure all of you know about the problem of clean water in Uganda. Over 300 million people don't have access to clean water. And as a result of that, the water, contaminated water with bacteria and parasites, one child dies every 16 seconds. And in Olemi village in Iowa, near Tororo, Uganda, women and children spend all day carrying water to and from the village. Just to show you, this right there is Uganda. And this is Uganda blown up. And this is the Tororo district. And the Tororo district is right on the edge of Uganda next to Kenya. And in fact, Richard, who I'll be introducing in a little bit, is from this village in this district. And his family is in the same tribe as Barack Obama's father. They spoke the same language. And they were right on the border with Kenya. This shows the children collecting dirty water. And also, they do have some shallow wells, but the wells are contaminated from the latrines, and they have E. coli. Now, interestingly enough, I'm not sure if many of you know about Sam Awori, but Sam was the president-elect at the Atlanta convention. He gave a speech, and he's going to be president next year of Rotary International. He had surgery a couple weeks after the convention and had a complication and died. So we're dedicating this project to Sam Awori. And Sam was actually the founder of the Tororo Club, which is our partner in Uganda. They're going to be working with us on this project. Now, we wouldn't be doing this project if it weren't for Richard Olevi. Richard is just the perfect person for this project. He was born and was raised in Uganda, and he met his wife, who was a Peace Corps volunteer. got married and moved to Carmichael, where he's lived for over 32 years. He's been a Rotarian now about a year. He's a civil engineer, has worked in Kenya and throughout the United States on water projects. He came to California in 1976 and got a couple of master's degrees in project management and structural engineering. He spent 10 years as a private engineering contractor and 22 years as a senior engineer with the Department of Water Resources. So, I mean, this guy is just the perfect guy for this project. Not only does he know people in Uganda, has contacts there, knows who to talk to get things done, but he's also an engineer who knows what he's doing and how to you know, get the project done. He drew up all the plans. Just as he said, he retired a year ago, but he really hasn't retired. He's working harder now than he did when he was working. Now Richard's going to coordinate and manage the project oversight with the Tororo Rotary Club. And the Carmichael Rotary Club will raise the money and manage the project, progress, payments, and the funds. The key elements of the project, we're going to drill 200 to 300 foot wells. We're going to have 5 water tanks and distribution pipeline to villages and to the schools. The pumps are going to be submersible solar powered pumps. We're going to have them located at 3 primary schools and pipe stands throughout the village. This is a picture of a schematic of what our project's going to look like with the water tank, the solar panels, and then the water will come down through a tap. This is a picture of an actual tank, similar to the one we're going to build. And this is a distribution tap. And we will recognize all the Rotary clubs in our district who contribute to this project. And by the way, if anybody wants to, we're going to go over when the project is completed and drink the water. Richard has promised me that we'll be made chiefs and they'll kill a goat for us. And then we're going to go on safari. So any of you would be welcome to join us. The project's going to cost $200,000. This is a breakdown, rough breakdown of the project. We're going to raise $56,000 from Rotary clubs and social media. We currently have raised about 48,000, so we're close to our goal. Tororo Rotary Club is going to donate some money, and the villagers are going to dig the trenches and lay the pipes, and you know, at their low wages, that's going to be the equivalent of about $3,500. And then we're hoping to get DDF and money from the Rotary International grants and World Fund to get us up to the $200,000. So what's our update? Basically, Richard went over to Uganda, spent 3 weeks there, met with the Tororo Rotary Club, met with the district governor, got everybody there to agree with the project. They signed all the papers. They went out with the villagers and picked the sites that they're going to drill the wells. The He drew up the designs that met the U.S. specifications and then took them to Uganda where they reviewed them and made sure that they met their specifications. And we now have the bids finalized, and the grant has been filed, and we're waiting for one signature, which Richard promises will come tomorrow. This is one of the persons in charge of the grants in the district in Uganda. And once the grant is signed, it goes through the review process. That'll take about 3 or 4 months. And we're hoping, Richard's hoping that in April, he'll go over there, he'll spend about a month over there to oversee the first well, make sure everything goes smoothly. This is a picture of Richard exchanging our flag in the Tororo Club. And now how can you help? Well, you can talk to your family and friends. You can donate as a club or an individual. And what we're looking for right now is pledges. And you will pay only when the project is approved by Rotary International. The donations will be, we're waiting to get it. Once it's approved, then you'll make your donations to giving the specific grant number. The donations will qualify for Paul Harris Awards and recognition points. They'll qualify for matching district and RI funds, and they count towards major donor status and towards your club's annual giving goal. So if any of you are planning to become a Paul Harris Fellow and give $1,000 to Rotary International, or you like this project, we'd be happy to have you contribute to our project. Okay, thank you. And now I would like to introduce Richard O'Levy, who will take any questions that you might have.
Any questions? Yes, sir.
Do you have to filter the water or add something to it, or do they just take it straight out of the ground?
Sounds very simple, but we, as Vic said, we're going to drill the well, and then pump water from that well into a tank. The place is pretty flat. The tank will be about 40 feet up in the air. And then the people themselves will construct pipelines.
Richard, what is my closer to you?
Pipelines to distribute water to the top points where they can take the water. 2-3 things. One, we'll put water meters so we can monitor how much water is being taken. 2, we'll control whatever goes into that tank so that the pump is not continuously running. We only run to replenish what is being grown. 3, the usage of water there is only 2 gallons per person per day. I know we don't think about it. If I go to the toilet, flush once, it's done. 2 gallons gone. There, I remember kids, and especially girls and women, carry water on their heads, and they walk for miles to get this water. So when they come home, even if the water is very dirty, that's the only water they have for cooking, bathing, and all that. So it is a precious thing that you need to have. So you have to be very careful how you use it. But the point we are making is, all of us here don't think about water. You go anywhere here, you get water. There, you really have to think how long it will take you to get that water. Moreover, it's dirty water that could kill you because of the waterborne diseases. I'm sorry to report my own brother, 4 years old, died when he drank dirty water. I survived simply, and I shouldn't say this, but I went mainly to boarding schools. That's why I'm here alive. So you start wondering, okay, I'm 72 years old, why hasn't this water changed in the 72 years when they have very few resources That's one part of the story. Second part of the story is most of the governments, some money, can be distributed, but most of the money goes into people's pockets. Yes, unfortunately, it is everywhere, including where we are, right here in the U.S. So it is not, it is the same story everywhere. But did I answer your question?
Well, when the water comes out of the ground,
Okay.
do you add anything to it to make it pure,
Okay.
make it filter it?
Okay, the reason we think this water is going to be clean are 2-3 things. We are going 300 feet down, and as the water it rains, the water infiltrates the ground, and by the time it gets to the groundwater, which is 300 feet down, most of all these waterborne diseases will have been filtered out. Okay, so we are then going to get clean water at the beginning. The way we get it is by drilling these holes down to, yes, we'll penetrate the dirty water at the top, but we'll clean the well before we start pumping water. We'll put chlorine and put some chemicals to make sure that we treat the water and make sure it is clean before we start pumping it out. That's one. Two is that we're going to put some kind of sealant below the level, about 150 feet below, where you put, I don't know if you guys know it, but you put pellets, and these pellets are bentonite that will seal any water above, from that level above, will not go below that particular place where you put the pellets. So anything you draw the water from down there will be clean, and it does not need to be treated after that.
That answers
Yes, sir.
And where's the equipment coming from, and who are the engineers doing this? I mean, where's the equipment manufactured, the tanks?
In this case, we got 2 beads, as Dick Bauer said. One bead came, the submersible pump would come from China.
Yeah, one day.
Please let somebody know if you're coming, if you're bringing people, just so we've got an idea of how.
Do a little bit of good where you are. It's those little bits of good put together that overwhelm the world. And this is kind of a similar thing. Another thing that I have that I've always kept and think about, you cannot do everything, but you can do something. And that's what Rotary does. They do a lot of some things that makes a big difference. So.
And that's what Jerry.
Charlie Blatchford, our member who's been ill recently, joined the club in 1988. He's been in the club 29 years. He served as secretary at least a dozen years, and in the 90s he was president of our club. And every night when we closed our meetings, he would have us recite this saying. If I can remember it. Happy have we met.
Happy have we met.
Happy have we been.
Happy have we been.
Happy may we part.
Happy may we part.
Happy meet again.
Happy meet again.
Have a very happy week this week.
It's time.